So here we are again, my good people. It's that time of the month, the infamous hot takes video, where I read all of your hot takes and predictions for the upcoming chapter of Boruto. And let me tell you right now, this is honestly gonna be one of the best videos I make while still doing this series. So many good hot takes that I actually think could happen. Like I say every month, I do this monthly. I haven't missed a month in I don't know how long. So if I didn't pick your comment, be sure to keep commenting because I will get to you eventually. I get a lot of comments, so I can't do all of it. Come on, just work with me here. But yeah, so without further ado, I got my 10 comments right here next to me, and I'm ready to hop into it. So let's do it. So okay, I think this is a good one to start off on. Sasuke's Sharingan is in the same eye that Boruto has Jogan in. Maybe as a way to fully embrace Sasuke's legacy, after they unseal him and he dies, Boruto will take his Sharingan. Okay, so I actually don't know the obsession with fans wanting Sasuke to be left with no eyes. He got one left. Let him have his eye, whether he lives or dies. And even if, Boruto wouldn't be the one to take Sasuke's eye. That privilege belongs to Sarada. And that's a potential way Sarada combats her blindness. On top of that, even if Boruto doesn't get the Jogan, the Byakugan is still a very powerful dojutsu, and it goes well with his character. So I'm gonna have to strongly disagree on everything about the comment, I guess. Okay, so let's move on here. Code making an unexpected attack on possibly Koji. So I did talk about this possibility in my last video, and of course I'm gonna leave the link to that on the top right hand corner of your screen, just in case you wanted to check that out. But as it stands, Code has a pretty good opportunity to invade and catch Koji off guard. This arc in general was a good opportunity, because you don't want to attack Koji and have Boruto show up and defend him. Now it's a 2v1, and Code is going to lose. If he really wants to go about this strategically, then you have to make a move now. Boruto is caught up in a crazy situation, with Sarada passed out and Mamushi just cloned himself 1,000 times. Yeah, Code attacking now would just be the cherry on top. And it also puts Boruto in a rough position. Either stay and help Daemon defend Ada and have Code unalive Koji and Inojin, or defend Koji and risk Ada getting devoured. Both are really tough choices. But if I was Boruto, I think I would stay and help Daemon. For one, while I don't think Koji and Inojin working together would be able to best Code, I think Boruto choosing to help Ada will buy him more time to then finish off Mamushi and help Koji. I know Code doesn't have the best history with winning fights, but I am more confident he could defeat Koji just because of him not being anywhere near Jigen levels of strength, as the only reason he was able to do as much damage to Jigen in the first place was because he was extremely weakened by Naruto and Sasuke. So Code should be able to win, if all goes well. I don't know how convincing that sounds at all, but if there was any chance to make a move, it would be now because of all the chaos going on in Konoha. And if you're Code, you also want to attack now because it raises the chances that Ada gets devoured. So that's like killing two birds with one stone. You accomplish one of your goals and get much needed revenge on Ada for betraying you. Going into chapter 33, just keep that in mind, everyone. So now the third comment we have, I think Kawaki is about to make the same kind of decision I mentioned before, just on a bigger scale this time. With Mamushi still multiplying and his body starting to overheat, it feels like he's running out of options and going back to his usual logic. Remove the root before it gets worse. If Ada is still the center of all this, I can see Kawaki trying to take her out of the equation mid-chaos without telling anyone. Not out of hate, but because to him, it's the fastest way to end everything. Boruto probably realizes too late since he's busy dealing with the swarm, and by the time he steps in, Kawaki already made the move, shifting the whole situation from Mamushi to them again. Yeah, that's if Kawaki isn't knocked unconscious by Mamushi before then. But if you were to ask me if I can see Kawaki doing this, the answer would be yes, because he carries a certain mentality now. His mindset tells him to be cold, just eliminate every and any threat to create a better world for Naruto, and to assure his safety. I feel that's his main goal right now. And obviously, Kawaki would do anything in his power to reach that goal, which includes the scenario. To stop Mamushi from devouring her, I think I can see him trying it, but you know that's why Daemon is here, to ensure that exact thing does not happen. And if there was some dream situation that ends up with Kawaki taking the life of Ada, then Daemon wouldn't hesitate to just unalive Kawaki as well. So there's something to think about. The truth is that Kawaki has no reason to unalive Ada, because he has a better solution that can ensure Mamushi never gets his hands on her. Just like Jura can't get his hands on Naruto, seal her in the Daikokuta dimension. It's really as easy as that. Not to mention, nobody knows if Ada even has to be alive or not to get devoured. If it's simply about devouring her to acquire genetic information, then they probably only need the DNA to make it work. So this method will work even better because you eliminate the chances of him getting her body entirely, and Ada still survives. Now of course, you want to always use this as an absolute last option, because if anyone sees Kawaki do this, that basically gives away that he was the one behind Naruto's disappearance, or at least makes him a prime suspect. And on top of that, you have to be aware that if Mamushi sees this, then Jura also does because of the Rinnegan. So Jura will also have his suspicions to where Naruto might be. So in reality, there's not a lot of good things that can come from that happening, but if that's the last resort, then Kawaki wouldn't think twice to do it. He just has a rather impulsive personality. So that gives me confidence in that prediction. Yeah, that's pretty good. Thanks for that comment. Daemon is gonna go demon mode. We still haven't seen him fight for real, and the last chapter was the perfect setup for that. Wow, you don't think last chapter Daemon went demon mode already? To me, he really showed out, but if you're saying he has more in the tank, then we have to see. I think we already established that Mamushi can't really touch Daemon in terms of strength. He would simply pummel every Mamushi that comes his way. His problem is keeping Ada safe, and it's gonna be way harder now that there's 1,000 clones. Not to mention the chapter prior to this, we also established that just beating Mamushi with brute force probably isn't the answer to get rid of him permanently, especially for Daemon, because he doesn't have any wide range attacks like Kawaki, Sarada, and Himawari. But if you think we haven't seen bro fight for real, then yeah, the last chapter was the perfect setup for that. What do y'all think? Does Daemon have a crazy power that he's hiding from us? Maybe a new form or something? Like honestly, if he was to reveal something like that next chapter, that would get me hyped. But I think the best way to deal with Mamushi is through exploitation. You have to make him beat himself. Otherwise, it's just gonna be an endless cycle of him just cloning himself when he get close to beating him. I promise that's what's gonna happen. The vision is really overpowered, but it has a weakness. I went over that weakness to the fullest extent in my last video, so check that out if you haven't already. But to briefly explain, his weakness is the intellect drop-off. When he makes too many clones, it simply takes away all of his basic level of reasoning, so he ends up fighting himself and destroying his own bodies. If Konoha can somehow exploit that to the fullest extent, they can win this battle, most definitely. So now we move on to the 5th comment of the day, which says, okay, Shinki and Araya joined the fight as a thank you for the leaf helping when they needed it, and get back for Yodo. Shikamaru and Kankuro have been in communication, so it's likely they step in. Shinki on the cover. Oh yeah, I actually seen this comment and I instantly knew this was gonna be one of the best predictions, because it's something that nobody is expecting. It wouldn't be the first time the sand came to help Konoha in a great time of need. So to see that again would be pretty cool. Just imagine that. Sarada and Kawaki go down, so they're replaced with Araya and Shinki. It sounds interesting. I had a theory a while back, and the theory was that Shinki was going to arrive and help Boruto against Jura, I think it was, just because of him wanting to give thanks for saving him. But I think this would be a better idea. I believe Shinki would be able to make a difference in this fight, obviously more of a difference than a fight against Jura. And he could buy Boruto time to tend to Sarada, or whatever is the case. Araya wouldn't be as useful compared to Shinki, but nonetheless it increased their chances of victory. They also fought together in the anime as well, so I initially thought of that as a foreshadow for a situation that could possibly arise in the manga. I'm not saying it will happen, but in this scene, Boruto unleashed the power of the Jogan, and this will be the second time he used this power to gain an advantage in battle. The first time was in his fight against Nue. That's just something to get your mind thinking. You can determine whether you want to take that as a foreshadow or not. But yeah, Shinki arriving is definitely something I haven't thought about for this situation, but it's something I can see happening. And his Iron Sand can definitely be of great use against 1000 Mamushi clones because of his range of attack. It's perfect. That's a really good comment. It's gonna be hard to top that one, but it's possible. Okay, so this comment says, Boruto awakened his dojutsu, an unexpected pop-up might happen, it could be Kakashi or someone. Boruto awakens Momoshiki's Rinnegan, they seal Mamushi away with a sealing jutsu. Okay, so when you say dojutsu, you're probably talking about Byakugan, or he could be talking about the Jogan, I don't know. I don't think that would be so sudden though. I'm pretty sure Ikimoto would want to build that hype up before revealing such a thing. Does Momoshiki's Rinnegan count as him awakening a dojutsu, even if it's on his palm? I don't know, what do you all think? I will say this though, there has been theories on the notion that Boruto has the Rinnegan under his glove, judging because he doesn't use the glove for anything. He doesn't use it to hide his karma or handle his sword, because he uses the same hand the karma is on to handle his sword. So the glove has no use except to hide something. We just have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised though, I'm pretty sure Boruto's body has been going through all types of changes since he became 100% otsutsuki. That's a situation that would break the internet if it happened though. And referring to the next thing he said, I think I'll just go ahead and say the surprise guest that could show up will probably be either Shinki or Code. Both are a bit unexpected, but either way they both change the situation extremely, either positively or negatively. They'll both have a crazy impact. And we talked about both of them so you guys know how I felt about those situations, as well as how they'll defeat Mamushi. I mean, sealing him is one solution, not permanent, but it is something to keep Ada safe for the time being. So I'm not sure they would want to go in that direction. They probably want to get rid of him for good. It'll be hard to seal someone with access to the claw marks that offer instantaneous movement. So not only would it be hard to do, there's no guarantee you can even hold him sealed if that was the case. Moving on to the 7th comment of the day, Himawari heals Sarada after trying to heal Kawaki. Then Boruto uses his sword's special material, which gives him a new ability. Yeah, that's another reason Himawari is such an important character now. Not only can she fight, she's an excellent medic too. She completely saved Inogen from a life-threatening injury, and she also healed Sarada in the past. So yeah, that makes sense, I suppose. Speaking of Boruto's new sword material though, I've seen someone talk about a flashback that could potentially happen next chapter that leads into him using or showcasing that new material in action. And I think that's something else that has a high possibility of happening, right along with Shinki joining him in his arc. You all know Ikimoto loves to do flashbacks after something significant happens anyway. And I guess the ending of last chapter would qualify as significant, don't you think? It could if he wanted it to. This material could be something that helps Boruto in this battle. Maybe it's something that goes along with his karma's power, maybe an amplification of sorts, or possibly something else that has to do with her just making the sword more powerful. In this desperate time, that would be great to implement into the story to turn things around again in the favor of Konoha. But for it to have that kind of impact, it has to be something big. Now I'm even excited for it. I want to know what it is too. Okay, here's a question for you all to answer. If you had to choose between Shinki arriving or Boruto revealing the secret material in his sword, what would you choose? What do you want to see more? Let me know down below in that comment section. Okay, moving on, Momoshiki might switch with Boruto. Simple hot take, and I emphasize this will be a potential direction Ikimoto could go in the story, especially if Boruto is just too distracted because of Sarada to fight properly. I'm pretty sure that's what the majority of people are expecting, and that's exactly why it probably won't happen. Too predictable. The other solutions would be more likely. I think they saved that moment for when Boruto fights Jura. Then we might see them switch consciousness. I don't know about y'all, but I really think they're going to lose. The story needs stakes, and they already defeated 2 of the Shinju. Either Mamushi loses, but in the process Ada becomes a Shinju, maybe Code takes Mamushi's Thorn Soul to bring him back to the story, or Mamushi just devours Ada. This could also be a good point to show that sometimes when Boruto tweaks with the future, it can negatively impact it. I agree. I think the story could benefit from something negative happening here, whether it's Ada getting devoured, Koji dying because of Code, even Ada getting turned into a Shinju. It will show that we can't really expect things to go good in every situation, and you rarely see that. You rarely see the main cast put in so much work but fail at the end. So that would be a wild twist that nobody ever saw coming. I already said that I would like to see, and I also think Ada lives through this situation. So if she ends up getting devoured, I'm even gonna be shocked. It's like all that work, and Mamushi still wins? So it's like you're creating real stakes so the readers are even more engaged with the story than they already are. Like he said, it will make them even more careful on how they go about making changes to the future. So I'm all for it if that was to happen. Okay, so the last comment of the day says, hot take number 1, Daemon is going to reveal a new ability which is going to one-shot every Mamushi clone at the same time. But this ability will require massive amounts of chakra that will lead to Daemon getting tired and unable to protect Ada from the real Mamushi that will sneak from behind and devour Ada. Hot take number 2, Boruto is going to reveal another ability that he learned from Kashin Koji / his future self from another timeline that will be able to easily beat the Mamushi clones and save Ada. Okay, so one way Ada gets devoured and the other she doesn't. I wonder what that ability would be. It could be an ability that a model installed into him or something. I guess out of both of those, I'd rather see a new ability from Boruto. I mean, if it results in Ada living, I wouldn't mind either one, to be honest. So yeah, I guess that concludes the hot takes for this month. Like I said, there was a lot of good ones. I'm really impressed. Especially the one about Shinki and Boruto's new sword material. So out of all of these, I want to know which one was your favorite. Or maybe you have your own hot take you want to share. I'd be happy to read it. If so, go ahead and leave that down below in the comment section. And I guess that'll do it for this month's hot take video. So without further ado, if you all enjoyed this video and wouldn't mind seeing more like this in the near future, go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, and turn on them post notifications so you know whenever I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.